Hello,
Hello,
everybody.
hello, hello.
Hello.
Welcome back to Getting That Medical Degree. What's today's topic?
Today's topic is life as a retail pharmacist. Sad face. So, that's the topic. You ready? You ready to learn about pharmacy?
Yes, I am ready.
So, what is retail pharmacy? The definition of retail pharmacy per Google is a retail pharmacy, which is a retail store that sells drugs to patients. So, the basic workflow is the doc sends a script to us. We type the script into the system. We try to bill insurance. I say try because the numbers are reject. We have to solve the reject by calling them or calling the doctor. And then the technicians fill the script. That's the basic formula for the pharmacy, and it's not as simple as it sounds. So let's get into it. So every morning, I'm a floater pharmacist, so I have to travel to different places all the time in my district. So I might travel 10 minutes one day, and next day I might be traveling an hour and a half one way. And I have to travel that back the next
It's
at
a
night. So,
lot.
mm-hmm. So like I think last Monday and last Thursday I traveled an hour and a half one way. So I get to work about 25 minutes before open because I'm a floater, and I always want to give myself time for construction, anything like that, anything that messes up inside the store before I get there. Maybe someone took the floater keys home and I can't get in, so I have to call someone to get the floater keys. Sort of that. So I go in, I get the floater keys from people in the store, manager usually. I check the fridge temperatures because you want to make sure the fridges didn't go into like a critical range while you're gone last night. If that happens, you have to discard all those medicines and go through a whole process for that. So you always have to make sure the fridges are good to go. And that's signed the pharmacy logbook. So pharmacy logbook just tells an inspector if they come in the pharmacy who was the pharmacist that day. Do they have a license number? What was their license number? Basically, just accountability, saying, "Hey, I'm Zach, and I was a pharmacist on this day. And here's my license number." Basically, all it is. But it's a law, so you have to actually be in the pharmacy. You have to sign it. So do all that. Open the pharmacy gates, let the techs in, and I start typing scripts in that came in that were overnight or in the early morning. And just keep on typing all day long as new scripts come in. Depending on your store, you have to call patients too. This is because the insurance actually makes us call you. It's not because we want to bug you every single minute of the day. So even though the robot guy from your pharmacy called you and told you this already, well, we gotta call you too because the insurance wants us to call you. So that's what we have to do. And depending on what retail chain you're on, so if you're in CVS, Rite Aid, Walgreens, you might have to call patients 3 times a day, every single day. So not because we want to bug you, it's because insurance is actually making us do it, and it's a part of our daily job. That you need a doctor to call patients apparently. But okay, rant over. The next slide. Typical job duties. So I check and make sure every type script is typed in before they get filled. So yeah, I'll type scripts in too, but maybe the text typing scripts in because there's somebody in the queue. Okay, we type them in as they come in too, so we do them in the order they come in. So everyone, it's fair for everybody. So I verify everything is typed in right, just to make sure there's no errors. Doctors didn't make any errors. You know, typical stuff. I verify I fill a script, so the text fills something or I fill something. I have to check to make sure it's right. So I check the NDC, which is the National Drug Code, which tells me what the drug is. Check expiration dates, make sure patients aren't getting expired meds, which sometimes you catch stuff before it goes out, and you're like, hey, get them a new box because that's bad, expired. And then give immunizations. So immunizations where most pharmacies actually make their money, and because insurance companies love it because it keeps you out of the hospital, which saves them money. So they pay pharmacies big bucks for shots. So most pharmacies have goals they have to meet every week. These goals are arbitrary; they change every week, and every single pharmacy has them. Then you lead the team. So as a pharmacist on the team, I'm the leader for that day. I have to make sure the techs are doing their job, taking the trash out, putting ice in the ice boxes because I can't leave the pharmacy, making sure they're taking turns doing each job duty. So everyone gets like a turn, fill in scripts, doing pickup, typing scripts in, and solving any issue that comes up. So I answer medication questions, call doctors when there's something wrong. So when we fill something, we check the guidelines too to make sure it's right. And if doctors make a mistake, we usually have to call them real quick. So in my state, we can correct a doctor's mistake on the script. If they tell us what they wanted to do instead, if they fix it verbally, we can actually write on the script and fix it. So we don't need a new script every time there's a mistake. So if a doctor called in the wrong strength of cephalexin or something, or the wrong amount, if the doctor verbally tells us, hey, I actually want 10 instead of 20 or 20 instead of 10, or I want capsules instead of tablets, hey, I can document I talked to the doctor at this time on this day, and he told me I can change it to that. That's it, done, don't need a new script. Pretty simple. And there are some things we can't change, like on C2s and stuff, depending on the state, but yeah. So the evening, fridge temps. Again, make sure that the fridge is fine before I leave for the night. Cycle counts. This is basically just counting, for me, it's counting all the narcotics, making sure everything's good and make sure no one stole anything and make sure everything matches what's supposed to be there. And this goes to the state. So the state wants you to count certain ones every night, you have to count the certain ones. Strong pack. This is basically just waste removal. We mostly do this for certain medications, but also like non-empty vaccine vials that have not been opened. That have been opened but haven't been administered all the doses. So in a Pfizer vaccine, there might be like 6 doses. I only gave one. I have to waste the rest of it because it's not only good for X amount of time. So I have to write that in the strong pack and put it in like a little baggie and send it and put it in like a strong pack box till it get picked up. Shut gates, turn the flutter keys back in, and then go home. And then go back the next day. So common questions I get asked. How long are your shifts? Mine are about 10 to 14 hours each, not including my drive time, which can add an hour and a half each way. So sometimes you have 17-hour shifts. Technically, you have to stand. No, but depending if you're gonna be moving around a lot, you have to go talk to a patient. You may have to move over there, talk to someone to pick up. Might have to go back to drop off. You might have to ring people out. Every time you sit down, you probably gotta be standing back up in a minute, so it's not really a point sitting down. Also, most pharmacies don't have stools, so if you want a stool, you have to bring your own, which some pharmacists do. So why does my pharmacist count me? So it's a law that we have to actually offer to count you in the first fill of a new medication. And if you refuse, or if you say you don't want to have any questions, you have to document it if you don't want to be counseled. So this might come off like, hey, any questions for the pharmacist for this medication? You'll say no. And after you say no, there's usually a box on the screen that pops up that makes you sign it. That's why. Also, we counsel when there's a DUR, which is a drug utilization review. This can be a meta interaction, a dose change, therapy change. We want to make sure that you're aware of what's going on and if there's any risk of it, if any. So drugs you interact, especially with Paxlovid, which is the COVID medication, which has a lot of severe drug interactions, which is why a lot of doctors are very weirdly kind of just say, hey, stop taking all your meds pretty much and until you're done with Paxlovid, which is a 5-day dose. Yeah, no, I saw a lot of stuff. Sometimes the doctors don't tell the patients, and we always at the pharmacy we do run drug interaction checks, and that pops up for that. And one of my favorite questions I get asked is, "Don't you just put pills in a bottle?" I'm pretty sure Mitchell probably has heard that before. You just grab Pharmacist. You've heard that
Yeah,
before.
yeah.
So no, I do have a doctorate, so you could be calling me Doctor Zach every time we talk. So we make sure everything is guideline accurate before filling every script. So we run drug interaction checks, make sure nothing severe going on. QTC prolongation, serotonin syndrome, increasing your pain. Some interactions actually increase your pain pill concentration in your body, which can cause respiratory depression, which basically means you stop breathing because of that interaction. There's a higher chance of that. There's interactions that lower your seizure threshold, so by taking two meds together, you might be having more seizures. This is all stuff we check every single day, every script. So we are the drug experts. We have 6 years of schooling in pharmacology, while your doctor has maybe one or two classes on it. My distant doctor, they have a lot more schooling and everything else, but we know the drugs. This is why we might tell you something at the pharmacy that your doctor did not. And you're like, oh, why didn't my doctor tell me that? Well, we have 6 years of schooling. They have other stuff they're worrying about. They're on a more time schedule than us, so they're not always running drug interaction checks. And if they do, they might not see all the interactions that we do. So, yeah, I think that's it. So if you guys have any questions, leave them down in the comments, and we'll see you in the next one.
Thank you so much for tuning in.
Peace.